Good evening, everyone. I am Vishnu Jagtap, and in front of all of you, I am presenting the Wall Street Journal newspaper headline. So, first of all, World Cup final is set as France advances to face Argentina. Next, repayment of pandemic loans 3 timed for many businesses. Next, Fed lifts rates by 0.5 points signals it is not done. Next, citizen spies helped Kyiv retake Kherson. Next next we come next year in review. Next, DeSantis holds early lead over Trump, poll finds. Next, counting to December 25 with beef jerky. Next, Xi Jinping blasters ties with Moscow. Next, on page number 2, in that Powell's outlook is at odds with markets. Next, Fed rises rate by 0.5%. Next we comes to page number 3, in that anti-Semitism on rise at colleges. Next, Florida passes bill to ease insurance crisis. Then on page number 4, in that House votes to extend funding for 1 week. Next, Georgia official 6 end of general election runoffs. Next, DeSantis has lead in poll. Next, support could change in a multi-candidate primary fields. Then on page number 6, in that Shanima's shift is wild card for Democrats. Next, campaign finance charge targets FTX political strategy. Next, Saudi's Twitter mole gets 42 months. Next, tornadoes kill 3, do wide damage. Next, evidence precedented in attack on Mr. Pelosi's. Next, intimate executed in 2010 murderer. Next, healthcare spending growth slowdowns. Next, on page number 7, in that Ukraine fends of drone attack on Kyiv. Next, oligarch is facing US sanctions. Next, Kremlin would target Patriot defense system. Next, citizen spies aid in Kherson. Then on page number 8, in that UK inflation is easing following a global trend. Next, Chinese diplomats flee questioning in Britain. Next, Peru deploys soldiers to end violent Arequipa protests. Next, businesses face loan repayment. Then on page number 9, in that opponent of Erdogan sentenced for insults. Next, Netanyahu seeks laws to suit coalition allies. Next, China recruited Western pilots. Next, at least 4 migrant die crossing channel. Next, landslide kills more than 140. Next, police raid offices of Macron's party. Then on page number 10, in that plot suspect meet with Russians, Germany says. Next, XI boost ties with Kremlin. Next, on page number 11, in that work by day, podcast by night. Next, farewells masquerade has new adventures. Then on page number 12, in that travel is still priceless, but it will cost you more. Then next, advent calendars for all. Then on page number 13, in that still shocking start in films. Next, on page number 14, in that NWSL completes my misconduct probe. Next, France advances to World Cup final. Next, on page number 15, in that they want to shut you up. Next, Virginia dynasty. Next, challenge to Kevin McCarthy is a biggest joke. Next, bring gender back to the house. Then on page number 16, in that J. Powell's finest havoc feature feathers. Next, child tax credit extortion. Next, does China really pick winners? Next, greener prisoner exchange is a win for Russia. Next, gas prices and economics 101 in California. Next, when schools and unions took responsibility. Next, defined benefit pension plans from 1773 to today. Next, have college concern loans. Next, get out of jail free in Illinois. Next, on page number 17, in that Biden has the economy back on track. Next, the Chinese stand up against the regime. Next, how fusion works and why it's a breakthrough. Next, an infectious tune. I got it from FTX. Then on page number 19, in that SEC reforms stock market rules. Next, Musk sells $3.5 billion worth of Tesla shares. Next, Quants poised to log best year in decades. Next, Musk sells $3.5 billion worth of Tesla shares. Next, pipeline leak puts pressure on oil prices. Next, Bankman Fried said to call shots at Alameda. Next, and Delta Lift's outlook has demand remains strong. Then on page number 20, in that cottons are set to log great year. Next, Delta rises its outlook. Next, Zara owner post rises in sales earnings despite economic chill. Next, Warner sees $1 billion more in cost. Then next on page number 21, in that groceries lure thrifty with store brands. Next, Sotheby's $6.5 billion in sales suggested slowdown. Then on page number 22, in that digital security firms SPAC deal is probed by SEC. Next, countries set a framework on surveillance of personal data. Then on page number 23, in that Dorsey calls Twitter controls too great. Next, Musk sells $3.5 billion in Tesla. Next, suits offer blueprint for pursuit. Next, FTX executive warned funds were mixed with Alameda's. Next, breakthrough hits up fusion sector. Next, hidden hand seen at traders. Next, on page number 24, in that forecast for oil demand is lifted. Next, leak puts pressure on prices. Then on page number 28, in that stocks fall has Fed signals further hikes. Next, SEC overhauls trade rules. Next on page number 29, in that India's tech funding winter will cause chills. Next, Microsoft needs to play Activision out. Then next, Fed's walk may be more dovish than its stock. Next, SEC's $1.5 billion problem has a complex solution. Then that much for today. Thanks for watching.